While electronics and screen time are becoming even more prevalent in schools, the question emerges, how do these devices truly impact a children's learning and brain development?
I do think there is some evidence to that. So there's exposure that happens during early childhood. So if you're a young child, and I'm talking infants, toddlers, preschoolers, excessive screen time is shown to impair language development.
Doctors say non-education content or media playing in the background of homes can take away from the natural conversations that would occur without technology. However, they say technology can be beneficial for students in a school setting. Just last year, the Fargo School District distributed more than 10,000 electronic devices for student use.